What's good, y'all? Welcome to the very first episode of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I'm going to start the commentary after the cutscene is done playing. That being said, you guys go ahead and enjoy the cinematic. There's not much of them, so I really think this one's well done.
These are uncertain times. Our future depends upon the choices we make. As populations continue to expand, megacities emerge worldwide.
The extreme conditions have led to a vast exodus of displaced residents.
WA bases were on high alert this morning.
Direct energy air defenses neutralized the attack almost immediately. Protesters and local forces clashed again today, resulting in yet more bloodshed.
Make no mistake, this is a new Cold War. We may not always see our enemies, but they are out there.
My name is Jacob Hendricks. I'm your new CO. This is Egyptian Minister Said, taken hostage by NRC forces 2 days ago. After the uprisings in Cairo, they may want to make an example of him. Punish him. We're not going to let that happen. Just so we're clear, if this goes wrong, you never existed.
The NRC are gonna be here soon. We got about 1 minute to create the mother of all distractions.
Tower, I need all traffic diverted from runway 19.
Copy that. Diverting traffic to runway 11. Cargo 4019er, we have a fuel fire on runway 19. Divert course for landing to runway 11. Please confirm.
Confirm. On fire for runway 11.
All right, you're up.
Okay, hacking module in place. Recalibrating dead system target.
We got company.
Dead. Manual override. Please select target. Input confirmed. Targeting parameters accepted.
We're showing us this target locked. This is an NRC friendly coming in.
All is good down here. Possible malfunction at your end?
Fire now!
Firing.
Dead system engaging target. Firing.
Shit! Get down! Let's get this done!
Alright, we are getting into some actual gameplay here, despite the fact that there's still dialogue happening.
Taylor,
But I am
version
going
is
to go
in
ahead
play.
and give some input
Bird is
here.
down.
That being said, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I know that a lot of people have memories for this game as well as Black
Right.
Ops 2.
See you at the RP.
Me personally, I never really had the nostalgia for this going into it,
Well, they're busy
as
dealing
well
with
as
crap.
barely any other Call of Duty games going into it. And of course, I played this
Keep your mouth shut.
relatively close to the time they were taking it off of PlayStation Plus.
Security
so,
stations across the way in the tunnels.
yeah, I
Once there,
never
we'll be able
did get to
pinpoint the
experience
minister's
this
exact
game in its
location.
quote-unquote
Heads and weapons
prime.
down.
And I'm not
Keep
just
it
talking
cool
about the story
till we
mode, which
grab.
is what I go through in this Let's Play, but also the multiplayer online modes. I never really got to experience it in a trial like that, just due to the fact that, again, this is like an older title. I feel like with Call of Duty, it never really revolves around the story mode, and if you do go back to revisit an older title like this one, that's what you're going back to visit, because obviously there's not as much people still active on a title like this compared to a title like Modern Warfare 2 and like Warzone, something like that, or even the mobile game, for crying out loud, you know. But this game, I feel like, in terms of like a story-based first-person shooter, it does it a lot better than most FPS story-based games. And I feel like that can be said for every Call of Duty game with a campaign mode, is that it does it. They are the only ones who, in my personal opinion, have managed to get the formula down, mixing a story mode campaign with an FPS like single player game. I think Call of Duty is the only ones that have managed to get that down, and I think they have actually grown less cinematic over the years, unfortunately. You know, like the earlier titles, like the World War II titles and stuff, those are where it was really, really at. And I think those are where some of my memories with this franchise,
Taylor,
in fact, my only
we're at the
memories
security
with
station.
this franchise
Moving to secure.
is with
I hear you,
games
Hendricks.
like, I know this counts as a newer title, but
Let's do
you know,
this.
games like Infinite
Ready when you
Warfare, Modern Warfare Remastered, pretty much all of the ones that were on the Wii, like Black Ops 1, I was never really able to experience
I'll kill the
any,
alarms on this floor. Get plugged in and locate
like
the minister.
any of the newer Call of Duty games, because basically my first Call of Duty experience was me just trying to, like, quote unquote fit in with, you know, like
Taylor,
the whole like
scanning for package.
like basically I wanted to be one
Waiting
of
for
the
a
big
hit on
kids
facial
when I
recognition.
was younger, and
hostages.
I fucking
I thought
begged
it
my
was only the
parents
minister.
to get me
So
an
did I.
Xbox for
Poor sons
Easter,
of bitches.
and they
The NRC
managed
are known
to
for
like
brutality.
get some money. They managed to buy me a copy of Modern
Taylor.
Warfare Remastered, which came
Did you
with,
know there were other prisoners?
it was a bundle
The
with
minister is the only priority.
Infinite Warfare,
Understood.
which had just come out at
Check
the
the
time.
next feed.
So yeah,
we
I
just
still
not
have that
leave 'em to
physical
be
copy to
tortured?
this
We
day.
have our orders.
And that is the game. That's the Call of Duty game that I mainly grew
No
up
match.
with, was Modern Warfare Remastered. He even had,
That's
like,
him.
I
Minister.
even had played through Infinite Warfare, and I still wasn't the biggest fan. I feel like maybe it's that futuristic aspect of them that kind of drives me away.
being
But
moved.
still, even with those like newer titles, I think
have to find out where
Call
they're
of
taking
Duty is the only FPS game at all, like franchise, let alone game, to successfully
Bingo.
capture the cinematic
confirmed.
aspect
Moving
of
to secure.
ETA?
like
2
an
minutes.
FPS
2 minutes.
campaign single player
I'll be
game.
timing you.
And the fact
Son of
that
bitches
with
never
games
funny.
like Modern
You sound
Warfare
like the voice of
or
experience.
Trust me.
World at War,
I am.
or hell, even like some of the spin-offs based on the earlier titles, like Call of Duty Big Red One or Call of Duty World War II, you know, some of those ones, even ones like those, like it's really easy to see just how cinematic this franchise can get. And I think Black Ops 3 definitely not the best example of a great Call of Duty game, especially when it comes to a great campaign. That's just my thoughts on this game so far. So essentially,
Gunner up top!
I am no longer a stranger to Call of Duty games. It was probably fair to say I was back whenever I had first played Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which was, again, it was a while ago, maybe 3-4 months ago. So, you know, not that long ago in retrospective. But, yeah, 3-4 months ago, I wasn't as big as a Call of Duty fan as I am now. Now well, for one, I was thinking about hooking my Xbox One back up, simply because I had heard that all of the Call of Duty games are coming to Game Pass. Every single one of them,
Self-walk
including
ahead.
the
On me.
barely accessible first two. That's crazy to me, because the first two Call of Duty games are only available on PS3
I'll take point. You breach observation.
and the original console that they were on, which is the PC CD-ROM that practically nobody owns nowadays. I own a couple games for it, in all honesty, but I don't own an actual PC CD-ROM. I own like a Pokemon game for it. It was based off of the anime or something. I think I own like a Shrek game or some shit
We're here
for
to
it.
extract you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't
as I
own
say,
a
and you'll make it
PC
through
CD-ROM
this. What about
itself,
Lieutenant Khalil
and I
and
don't
the others?
own physical
Sorry,
copies
no time.
of the
Khalil
first
was
two
a
Call
hero
of
of
Duty
the
games as
Cairo.
much as
You know that makes him a
would,
valuable
like, be
asset
something
for their
to flex
propaganda.
about as
They
much
will make
as I
an
would
example
love
of
to.
him.
I
All right,
don't,
let's go.
unfortunately, but yeah. I definitely had a better experience playing through something like Modern Warfare Remastered
Here, this
compared
one.
to
Get the
Black
door. I'll cover.
Ops 3 is kind of what I'm getting at. And again, there's a lot of like GameCube titles and Wii titles that I can emulate, and I'm definitely interested in doing so.
I'll cut the poor bastard
I plan
down.
on getting a PC this year for Christmas. I'm saving my money up now. And yeah, I plan to get a PC around Christmas time this year.
Hendricks, can you fight?
And,
for
you know,
Always.
it doesn't need to be
We'll
a
grab a
gaming
weapon
PC.
from the
I'm
locker
thinking
room
just
up
like a
ahead,
normal
and
PC.
reprogram its
Simply
master
because I want to
biometrics.
emulate some of those PS3 titles that I did miss out on, unfortunately. Like,
Sounds like they're finally on
Black
to
Ops
it.
2, for
Let's
instance. Modern Warfare 2, for
Taylor,
instance.
package +1, secure and
yeah,
inbound.
like, there's definitely a lot of titles that I managed
orders
to
were
miss
to
out on
extract the minister.
simply because
His
I
name
never
is
owned the
Lieutenant Khalil.
PS3,
familiar?
Xbox
Get moving.
360,
See you topside.
whatever generation of
Depot ahead will
consoles.
be heavily
So,
guarded.
yeah,
Get ready to go loud.
with something like Black Ops 3, again, it feels very, like, futuristic, and because of that, I feel like they missed the opportunity to make this, like, a cinematic war story. Even whenever I was younger, Modern Warfare got me by pulling me into that story, simply because it was, like, realistic. There was that realistic aspect to it that, like, oh shit, this happened. And, you know, I played that probably when I was like 7, 8 years old, somewhere around there. I was like, even at that young age, I was able to understand, oh shit, this is real. This isn't a game. Like, this shit happens. This shit is real. This is based on real shit. This, ah, man, you can tell, like, they have come so far from just that World War II first-person shooter franchise. It is so easy to tell just based on, like, this versus something like Call of Duty World War II, for instance, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like I keep on bringing up. Honestly, the only reason I keep on bringing up Modern Warfare Remastered is because that's the game I have the most memories with. But, yeah, it's really easy to see the difference in
Get in the
something
elevator.
like
It'll
this
take us up to
versus
the hangar.
something like that. Like, there was a lot more care and thought put into something like
Clear out the
Modern
NRC
Warfare
so we can
Remastered.
get
You know?
topside.
Like, the characters, again, they all feel very realistic, whereas in something like this, it's just made to be this big, like, shoot 'em up. And again, if my parents had done the fucking doohickey
Get to the elevator.
earlier on, maybe I would have been able to experience this game's prime and experience that, like, older, like the online stuff, you know, get in some matches with friends, whatever. But since I never was able to do that, I feel like
Trust me.
I'm always just going to have a negative connotation towards this game, and I don't think that's ever going to go away anytime soon. Simply because, again, I didn't grow up with this one. With Modern Warfare Remastered, like, I was able to get in some online matches. I was able to hop on with some friends and stuff every now and then. Simply because, you know, it was relatively new.
Look different.
Being bundled in with
Still seeing Rachel?
Infinite Warfare, and
That didn't work out.
so yeah,
That's a pity.
that's something that I do have a little bit more, like, memories for.
Take care of him as good as you did me.
And because of that, I feel like,
not funny.
again,
Seven,
my
Rexville?
my connotation towards this game, it's always going to be more negative than positive.
babysitting.
Although I did have, like, a friend, or I do have a friend who, he agrees with me, you know. His main reasoning for not liking this game isn't that it's not, like, cinematic. Like, he didn't go into as much detail. He just kind of told me, you know, it's too futuristic. And that's again, like, that's another complaint I have with it. Even is that, like, they're too worried about impressing you with, like, Look at this. This is from the future. This is from the future. And this shit. Look at how it evolved. I feel like it's just an excuse to get all these new like weapons, all these new suits, all this new shit into their online multiplayer. What they don't understand, I feel like you can go like the Call of Duty mobile route. You can have all that futuristic shit in it when it comes to the multiplayer, but whenever it comes to a campaign, we want something where we can relate to the characters, where we can feel the characters. Definitely, like I said, like I feel like Modern Warfare Remastered was one of the best campaigns in a Call of Duty game, and you know we're talking like it's going up against BO1 here. It's going up against like Cold War. It's going up against shit like World of War. You know, even then I agree on the side that Modern Warfare Remastered is probably one of the best campaigns. And again, I'm not sure how much of that is due to nostalgia.
Try and keep up, right?
Like, I'm not sure what the public's general consensus is on like the Call of Duty franchise, how it's aged. You know, I've never seen like a Call of Duty retrospective or anything, whereas I can sit down and watch like a Legend of Zelda retrospective, something like that. But I would assume that most people agree with me, simply because, you know, like, there is an obvious, like, in-your-face decrease in quality throughout the franchise, and that's one thing that I feel like any Call of Duty fan, new, old, you will be able to, like, agree with me on that. Like, even some of the newer fans, like I said, like, technically I'm not a newer fan. I've been playing since I was like 7, 8 years old. So I've basically been playing Call of Duty since I was old enough to understand Call of Duty. But what I'm getting at with that is like, even some of the newer fans, I feel like they're like able to understand. You know, like, oh shit, I missed out on that. Whereas this, it's like, oh shit, I missed out on that. Thank God.
We're almost out of here.
Yeah, it was something like BO3 again. I just don't have memories for it. I don't have like again, like I might not be able to give you guys a proper opinion, simply because I didn't grow up around the time where this game's like online multiplayer and shit was popular. I instead grew up playing fucking Infinite Warfare, playing Modern Warfare Remastered, and recently, within the past year, emulating some of the older titles. And like some of the GameCube and Wii stuff, like I had mentioned. And obviously, they just added Call of Duty Cold War, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War to PlayStation Plus, which of course I immediately went through and checked out. And you know, it's definitely okay. I can give it that much, I guess. But yeah, I just, oh man, this franchise, I feel like, again, most people would agree with me that this franchise has went on a major downward spiral, whatever the fuck you want to say, downhill spiral, whatever. Point is, I think we all agree, most of us can agree, that this franchise has gone downhill, more so than anything else. Like, nothing, even on like TikTok and stuff, I'll be scrolling and I'll get a Call of Duty video. It's something, it's not like a, oh yeah, the new Call of Duty game's great. It's, I miss old Call of Duty, man. I miss that. Now what? Here's the BO2 fucking loading screen until you scroll to the next video. You know, whatever. It seems to me like people are just as nostalgic for old Call of Duty as I am. And again, I'm not like the biggest Call of Duty fan or anything, but I can see why. It's obvious that it's had a decrease in quality over the years, and if they were to go back to that original, like, World War II, badass, realistic, like, character arc shit, you know, like, I feel like people would be more into it. I would be more willing to go out and spend $70 on a Call of Duty game if they were to go out and like do something World War II based, Vietnam based, even though we've seen it how many fucking times, you know. People don't complain that like Battlefield or something. Oh, we've seen this in Call of Duty already. People don't complain because it's something new, it's something fresh. For the most part, you know, like we get the general idea, but it's like it's still for the most part an entirely different game. And again, like in my opinion, the only good FPS games like campaign-based FPS games, the only good ones will ever be Call of Duty. Like I've given Battlefield 1 a try. I've given Battlefield 2042 a try. I'm not a fan of the Battlefield franchise. I've played both Homefronts, and I'm not a fan of either one. Especially Homefront Revolution, or whatever the Homefront sequel is called. It's something Revolution. Definitely didn't like that.
Alright, change of plan.
I feel like a more recent addition to like the story-based FPS game trend is like
more robots.
Ghostwire Tokyo. And again,
well, get out of here. Go.
I think it's very overrated. Like I might be one of the only ones to think that. You know, honestly, like I've seen so much praise for just how artistically creative the game is, for the story behind it, for all of the like amazing voice acting, the graphics, and how it showcases the next gen capabilities, whatever. You know, I've seen all the praise behind it, and just no matter how hard I try, I cannot get into a game like that. Oh man, like again, like I want to enjoy FPS games that aren't Call of Duty, but it seems like Call of Duty is just the ones that did it right. I mean, like, you know, I enjoy your average, like, Doom. I've never played Wolfenstein, but it looks exactly like fucking Doom. There's some other, like, older titles I have enjoyed, like, the GoldenEye remake. I wasn't a fan of the original just because of the, like, wonky controls and shit. Yeah. But other than that, like your average FPS, the ones that aren't like artistically creative, the only ones I've ever really enjoyed is like that fucking South Park game on the PS1. Most Call of Duty games, despite like all of my negative like criticisms towards this so far, I did for the most part enjoy the story. I'll say that much. But yeah, most Call of Duty games, that fucking South Park game, GoldenEye game, like there's Doom I mentioned. Again, one that I want to get into is Wolfenstein. I technically have played one of the SNES Wolfenstein games. I wouldn't know which one it was because there's like so fucking many, and I don't know which one it is that I have a physical copy of.
Get that minister out of here.
But yeah, I know like they just added some of the new Wolfenstein games to PlayStation Plus. I can get into some of those, you know. But other than like those four franchises, Doom, Call of Duty, GoldenEye, you know, some of them James Bond games, I don't think there's really any FPS games that have done it for me, like on an artistic level. And because of that, again, I've played a lot of the major ones. I've gone through BioShock. I've gone through some Borderlands. I've gone through some Battlefield. You know, 3 fucking Bs. I've gone through some FPS games, and I'm simply not a fan of a lot of the ones that I've played. And by a lot of the ones I played, I mean, you know, I've played a lot. I'm not a fan of most of them. Homefront, I mentioned, you know, the ones I don't like outweigh the ones I do like. For the most part. Because again, you know, like there's a lot of Call of Duty games. I haven't played all of them. I would assume that I would like all of them. But, you know, there's no way to know unless I play all of them. That much I can admit. Like, unless I play every single Call of Duty game, I'll never know. I'm not gonna like every single Call of Duty game. Yeah, I can remember back to the days when they had Call of Duty Ghosts on the App Store. Or it wasn't the App Store, it was Google Play. But I can still remember back to those days. And, you know, I always wanted to ask my dad to buy it for me because it was like, I know it was still selling full price, I think. But that's the earliest memory I have of wanting to play a Call of Duty game. Is like seeing Call of Duty Ghosts on the App Store. So again, yeah, like Call of Duty, probably the main FPS franchise that I actually enjoy. I don't enjoy much other than Call of Duty. But anyways, we are getting into some of the cinematic side here, so we're going to let it play out. That being said, I'm going to shut my mouth until the cutscene is over. Oh wait, no, it's not. I don't know, it's about to start the cutscene, so I might as well just shut up anyways.
Where am I?
It's okay. Calm down. Just relax. You're gonna be fine. You got smarter than me. Achieved our objectives. Man's always gonna be better than machine. Unfortunately, you sustained life-threatening injuries. You're stable, but you got a long way to go.
Who are you?
It's me, Taylor. I think it's time you woke up, don't you?
Alright, before the cutscene really gets into some crazy shit, I do want to mention another thing that a lot of people.
Hey.
Alright, never mind. I'll just let it play out. I have plenty of time to talk after.
Welcome back.
Taylor.
Yeah. Do you know what's happening to you?
Am I dreaming?
Well, let's say you are. Why not just go with it, right? After all, you can always wake up. December 12th, 2054, 7:30 a.m. We're on board a private commuter train headed to the Zurich headquarters of the Coalescence Corporation. Our cargo, prototype for the Winslow Accord Neural Network Initiative. At its core, specialized AI software that's capable of rewriting itself in order to interface with any other system in the world. State-of-the-art stuff back in the day. It'd go on to revolutionize a broad range of military and civilian
Not after
applications.
actually beating it. I cannot see these guys face
It would
the
have
same.
if the train had reached its destination.
Not after knowing what happens. But you guys will find out about that much soon.
At 7:31 a.m., a terrorist group detonated an explosive device on board this train. The incident sent back our robotics program several years. You're here to stop it.
I should have known.
This is
just looking back on this, man.
Can't be.
I really should have
What is
known.
happening?
It's like so much foreshadowing.
Right now, you're in a medically induced coma being prepped for surgery.
Like they're making it so
You've got a
blindly
little bit of
obvious.
hardware inside your head. It's called a direct neural interface, or DNI. I've got
Again,
one too. That's how I'm able to communicate with
keep getting curious. That'll
Your
encourage you
DNI
guys to
is what
stay and give
connects
me
your
more
mind
views.
with your new body and the larger world around you.
And one day
We're connected.
profit off of shit that isn't mine.
All of this is a simulation inside our minds. And you got a long way to go.
Alright, now I believe we're in... Are we? Is the cutscene still playing?
RPG! 11:30 a.m. December 11th,
yeah, it is.
2054.
When I get
Zurich
my
security
fucking
forces
sniper,
received
that's
anonymous
whenever I
tip
can
giving
talk
them the
again.
location of a hideout the terrorists are using. Unfortunately, the ZSF underestimated the firepower these assholes were packing. They got caught with their pants down, and they took it hard. Outcome? Train go boom. You remember Diaz?
I think so.
Gonna help get you up to speed on some of the cool new shit you can do.
Communication, brother. We all gotta be in sync. Yo, Taylor, you're a fucking dick. You didn't hear shit? If I want to talk to you, the DNI transmits on a closed channel. I don't even have to think about it. But, just so you know, if you ever think about calling Taylor a dick for real, brother, he's gonna mess you up worse than those robots. All right, let's go see if you can do this without ending up with Swiss cheese like those poor bastards.
Alright, since freedom of speech is back on the grocery list, motherfuckers. As I was saying, like, before the cutscene started, another thing that kind of, like, drives newer fans away from the Call of Duty franchise is, like the negative connotation it has in general. I'm talking with the fan base, some of the, quote-unquote, satanic aspects of it. And I'm a Christian, so I feel like I'm more qualified to speak on those quote-unquote satanic aspects than most of the Call of Duty fan base. And that being said, what the fuck is satanic about this again?
Here they come!
I mean, like, there's pentagrams in like one game or something. And it has nothing to do with the main plot. I don't get where people get that from. Like, again, there's pentagrams hanging up in the background of like one game, and that's like again one of the newer ones.
Your DNI can provide combat critical info.
What exactly is satanic about this franchise?
Switch it to tactical mode, like opening your eyes.
I'll never get anything like that. Obviously, like yeah, you're going to war and killing people. In my head, I feel like playing something like that, it's better to play something like this than like the original God of War games, because you know, like something like this, it can teach you actual like good messages. Like this game in itself, it'll teach you about like friendship. It'll teach you about like always be there for your fucking comrades or whatever. The original God of War, on the other hand, that's like something that will teach you, like, to literally be a rage-filled monster.
It may take a little getting used
to. The new God of War,
but your confidence will soon grow.
But you know,
try
like,
it for yourself. I got 100 says you can
like
do
something
it.
like the original God of Wars. I feel like that's something you definitely have to be a little bit more open-minded to while playing through it. And, like, you can't go into that with the mindset of, well, this is going to be just like every other game. No, something like that you do have to be slightly more open-minded to, and I feel like you should look into it. Again, this is for Christians, because obviously there's rules on like what you cannot watch. If there's something that is directly speaking against God, you know, I'm not going to watch that. If there's a game that directly speaks against God, you know, like Mafia or something, that'll make some jokes. But that's made by a team full of Christians, atheists. It's made by a team full of different, like, diversities of religions, races, whatever it may be. And I feel like something like that, you know, that's fine. Even for it to make like a church joke, like for example, like Mafia 2. Vito, he's talking to Joe. He's like, Joe, you go to church? And then Joe's like, of course. Vito, he's like, when's the last time you've been there? And Joe, he says something like, Easter. And then, I don't know. It's a back and forth conversation, but essentially, like, Joe went to church and Easter, but the joke is he went to church Easter of like 1941 or some shit, and the game takes place in the 60s. That's the joke to it. That's, you know, something like that is fine, or even the shootout that takes place in a church in Mafia 1. Something like that is fine because it's not outright speaking against God. It's just crucial to the plot. So, like something like that is fine. Whereas with something like, I can't even think of any good ideas to like name off. I've never played a game that outright disacknowledges Christianity, honestly. But the best example I can think of like having to be open-minded while you play something is some of the, I would say, throw in the FPS games in there. You know, all the bloody shit like Call of Duty, whatever. Even Mafia, you have to be open-minded playing something like that. Again, it has those church jokes. It never outright speaks against religion. And like stuff like the original God of War, like it teaches you to be a rage-filled monster. So again, and I'm a Christian, so I'm qualified to speak on that. You know, it's fine to play as long as it's not like outright speaking. You know, like if it says, "Oh, Christians suck," whatever. If it says something like that, it's probably not the best to play. Something like this, you can play as long as you're like open-minded. So that's just like acknowledging the quote-unquote idea that Call of Duty is satanic, because I do not believe that whatsoever. Then just the fan base in general is kind of controversial. I feel like a lot of people bring that upon themselves. Because like with games like BO3 or whatever it may be, with games like that, people will go out of their way to defend it, and it's like to the point where it's like, come on, do better. But anyways, guys, we are coming up close to the end of this episode. I'm going to go ahead and start the outro here.
It allows us to
just
interact
because I don't want to get ahead of myself, get on a new topic,
pretty much
whatever,
all the basic drone
with the commentary,
now, bipeds,
and then, you know,
sophisticated
not
ground
be
units,
able to end it
those were a whole lot
properly.
trickier.
But yeah,
those
that
sons
being
of bitches got a
said,
damn hive mind.
thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully you guys stuck through with it. I know this was a long first episode. This was like 40 minutes or somewhere around there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. Let me know how you guys like the audio in something like this compared to Stray or Crash
see what's on the other side of this wall.
Just because the audio, you guys are going to notice some differences. Just because something like this, I am voicing over the already recorded footage, whereas Stray and like Crash Bandicoot, I'm kind of going, I'm voicing over it as I play through the game. So it's an actual completely blind Let's Play. This is blind gameplay footage from me. I'm just voicing over that footage. So if you guys want to go ahead and let me know, please let me know. Provide feedback for me, please. Just what do you guys like better, the voiceover or the you know, blind playthrough reactions as I do it? I know with like the voiceovers, it gives me a little bit more of a chance to review the game and kind of retrospect it in a way, you know. Again, just let me know what audio do you guys prefer, and what like gameplay style do you guys prefer. Do you guys prefer me editing it, whatever. That being said, we are again fairly close to the end of the episode here. I'm gonna let this play out and try to say as much shit as I can before it ends, but there's not much left. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, please drop a like, hit the notification bell, subscribe, whatever. I think we all know the drill by now. You know, if you didn't like it, drop a dislike. Whatever you do, it's gonna help out the channel. As long as you hit one of them buttons, it's gonna help out the channel. It can even be the share button. It'll tell people, you know, it'll tell the YouTube algorithm this guy's enjoying it. It'll tell other people to see it, so that they're gonna put it out to other people. You know, if you dislike the video, it's gonna tell the YouTube algorithm, you know, this guy doesn't like it. Maybe this guy will like it. This guy doesn't like what this guy likes. You know.
I'm afraid the EMP blast.
That being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.
Come on, let's go.
Please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, whatever. And again, we are fairly close to the end here.
Grab fresh ammo whenever you see an.
And I'm going to end it off.